So yeah, maybe I can give you a bit of a perspective, sort of three aspects that I'd like to lay out with regard to the state of play on transatlantic relations at the moment. I think the first point that we should all be aware of, and that we're probably all aware of, is that we're living through really uncertain times. It's quite troubling. We have political turmoil on both sides of the Atlantic to a certain extent, but certainly in Europe we're seeing a lot of uncertainty with regard to Brexit. We have the rise of nationalism, more protectionism, populism. All these things are worrying to business, and uncertainty is not good for business. We also have the uncertainty of issues between friends, between allies, between the EU and the US, and not quite knowing where we stand, trade disputes, potentially tariffs coming into play. So that's the first point. Saying that, the second point I want to make, I think is really important, is that we as the business community and as AmCham EU really try to look on the positive side, and we need to tell the positive narrative. For example, let's talk about the transatlantic economy. There are 16 million jobs supported by the transatlantic economy on both sides of the Atlantic. The EU and the US together, they are 1/3 of global GDP. Direct jobs, it's more or less the same. It's about 4.6 direct jobs in the US supported by European businesses, 4.3 on the other side. It's amazing. And then finally, I think the last point I want to make is about how cooperation is absolutely key. At this moment in time, we need to work together. I believe the EU and the US are working together. There's more we can do. It's very important that we do work together, and we all agree on that, whether it's trade deals, furthering EU-US talks, let's make some progress there, whether it's reform of the WTO, whether it's how we address the problems posed by China, but we do need to cooperate. So, not only is the transatlantic economy important in itself in terms of the EU and the US relationship, but also the Danish-US relationship is absolutely vital. And considering the relative size of Denmark, it plays a huge role in the US. The jobs in the US supported by Danish investment are around 39,000. And this is pretty much equal to the number of jobs in Denmark supported by US companies. It's 41,000. So it really shows how important this relationship is. It's an equal relationship. Some other figures to throw out are the 13.9 billion in FDI of the United States and Denmark. And the other way around, Danish FDI in the US is 18 billion. So really, it's a highly important relationship, and I'd encourage you all to look at the study, the new figures in the Transatlantic Economy 2019 by Joe Quinlan and Dan Hamilton. It says it all.